I'm going to talk about a proportion in a charcoal drawing with a sweet potato. And the simple way to measure is to relate one portion of the objects to the whole object. Let's take a look at this sweet potato. Let's take a look. And first I'm going to just draw the whole big shape quickly on the paper, like that. Not exactly with details. And I'm going to include the catch the shadow later. So that means I'm going to move the objects, the right side of the object. This will be the area. So this is take care of the composition. Now the next thing I want to see is how I'm going to divide these objects. Actually, you can see that it's almost 1/3 if we divide into 3. Almost 1/3 on the right side. It actually belongs to almost like a tipped rectangle, like that over here. And on this side, this is almost like this is the 1/3 area, and there's star over here and come down. There's a tilted line come down all the way here, like that. See, and on this side is a curved line all the way coming over here. But you can compare to this end. It's a little bit lower than the end on the right side. So that's would be. And coming over here a little curve, and then almost straight line, and come here, and that is the whole shape. And also see the rough proportion. This is actually about 1/3. It's not exactly. I think it's a little bit less than 1/3, but you can measure it. And if you see that, it's a little bit less than 1/3. But this is good. Now you can add the catch the shadow. It's about here. Now we're looking to the local color. I'm going to roughly fill in this object, the sweet potato. I'm going to make it to be dark enough as the local color supposed to. And I'm also going to fill in the catch the shadow. Which is darker than the objects. Okay, I'm gonna blend it. And now I'm gonna compare this two value relationship. I think the sweet potato should be still need to be darker. Okay, now this is better. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here to take a look at if I apply the light and shadow, what it will look like. First, on this side, I can see that it's a little bit darker. Okay. You can go with the cross contour direction. Now this tip end is a little bit darker too. I'm gonna make it a little darker. I'm gonna come in with the eraser to have the light side a little bit lighter over here. And then now I'm gonna make this a little bit lighter to create actually greater contrast between that value and this value. Now I come in here, also make this light side a little bit lighter. We're not looking at those small details yet. Still focus on the big relationship, the big shape. Now it's just more like it. Now I'm going to see in the catch the shadow. Inside over here has a little bit lighter. Okay. Like that, good. Now, next step, I'm gonna go into define some details. Okay. Now, looking at the contour. Now coming over here, a little bump come up and then come down and this way. And I'm going to have this area a little bit light up. Now looking at the bottom of this shape, it should be a little bit like this. You may be asked, why didn't we do that earlier? No, the earlier time, we still focus on the bigger relationship, the bigger shape, the bigger value, contrast. So now is the time to go in to look for smaller. The light shape can continue over here a little bit later, coming here. That's good. Alright, now we come back to this side. We can see the little reflected light, even though the skin is pretty rough of the sweet potato, but still seeing some reflected light back to the bottom. Now I'm going to come into to give it a little bit more definitions for details. Over here I have a little light shape. Next to it, a little bit darker area. Here has a little triangle. A little lighter shape over here. A little line. A little bit indent over here. Good. A little bit, couple more small shape. You don't have to capture all of them. For example, over here, I probably only do one small shape, not both. So now I'm gonna use my knitter eraser. Now come into define and create those small details. Okay, here. I'm going to add a little light shape over here, a little triangle over here, a lot of suggestions, and sometimes it's all it needs. Give it a little more. Okay, good. a little bit there, a little bit here. And a little bit lighter on the other side, like that. A little light shape up here. And one over here. I only pick one. Maybe one very small right there. Like that. A little bit over here. A little smaller shape over here. Okay, I'm gonna also add a little darker details right here. Have a little bit shape like that. I think on this side can be a little bit darker. Now also drawing it with a group of lines, so I can actually showing a little rough texture feeling. And over here have a little bit texture. Now I come down to the catch the shadow, and this area is a little bit darker, like that. Now you can see with the simple approach, start from big shape, looking for the proportion, and then you can gradually finish. Looks like a complicated shape, but it's just still going with the same approach from bigger to smaller and smaller.